Gather round, hunters, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command. Orion Pirates Plus, I'm Rear Admiral Tiak of the Battleship Devourer. As we continue our campaign against the Romulan Star Empire, last time we obtained the Devourer. It is our brand new battleship, which I hope will take us into victory against the Romulans. There could be ups, there could be downs, but as long as we stay in a powerful battleship like this, we should do all right. So, last time we also had finished securing our passageway through the Gorn Federation neutral zone. They've given us passage through here, and we're going to start planning on, well, taking a base. So let's continue to scout finding that base. This would be very nice to have as a base. Unfortunately, it would be about 8 missions to actually take. So we apparently have been ambushed. Because we're going to be taking the ambushy mission. Ambush missions can pay out obscenely well if you win them. We got a King Hawk behind us and a light cruiser up ahead of us. I don't think that you're actually going to be able to defend yourself. Let's get up to our combat speed of 16, which is pretty gosh darn impressive for a battleship. And we're going to then throw a whole bunch of power into electronic countermeasures. We're going to go into forward shield reinforcement. We're also going to prep a scatter pack and an emergency wild whistle just in case. We'll launch our fighters just as soon as we can. There's so much to do with the battleship. I love it. And our probes are almost prepared. So let's get our fighters ready on defense, unless we suddenly find out that he's massively equipped with point defense systems. Let's also immediately commence our bombardment and get our missiles going. We're going to wait a little bit longer, make sure that the MIRVs can get out ahead. We do have a forward B-Rack missile launcher. He does. Oh, he has 4. Gee, this is going to be rough. So I'm actually going to keep the fighters in for a little while longer. Disruptors, set them up and start trying to knock them down. Oh, they're not in range. They're disruptor force, aren't they? So we gotta wait until we're within a range of 40. I don't think any of them hit. But in any event, we only have 2 mounts for those disruptors, which is actually kind of pathetic. I mean, that's not a huge number of disruptors. I'll slow down just a little bit. Are we already out of ammo? No, it's just a graphical glitch. That makes me happier. Not having to worry about being completely out of ammo. Oh, shoot, I should not have... Well, this might prompt the stop. It did. Okay, so that worked out fine. So maybe just the 2 MIRVs and a C-Rack, maybe 2 C-Rack launches, and that might actually do us in terms of actually being able to engage our enemies. I don't think the King Hawk is so well endowed with point defense. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that, but I'm fairly certain he's not. No, he's perfectly content to be annihilated by what we're about to be spitting. I'm actually not going to fire my follow-up. Because we got him. Okay, let's commence secondary engagement. So, you plus, I'm going to say just you. I'm going to see if that'll work out, because I kind of want to save ammunition a little bit. We are sort of in the unenviable position of we actually do need to save ammo. Oh, we had incoming plasma torpedoes. We are, after all, currently out on a bit of a supply limb. We're down to half loads anyway. So, if we can save ammunition at all, which would be helpful, then we should be in a good place. And we did fire the effect of 6 missiles at him, and that caused the stop. Excellent. Alright, so the next salvo ought to be a good follow-up and should be able to take him down. MIRVs are almost ready for the re-engagement, and once they're ready, well, we've got this in the bag. Spit out 2 of those. Prep out for all missile follow-up. Just in case he has any kind of point defense, we're all prepped and ready to go. Disruptors, we want to be ready on them kind of shortly. We do need to slow down a little bit, because I need power. I don't have all the power in the world at the moment, and I'd like to have it, because it's very useful to have. And the C-Rack is ready to go again. We could launch another C-Rack volley, which, sure, why not? Load up the last volley into the C-Rack. This may not kill him, though. We do, of course, have to keep that in mind. In which case, we'll fall back onto our energy armament, which is not terrible. I mean, 10 disruptors plus 12 phaser ones, 12 phaser ones, is not bad at all. So he's shot down a pretty decent number of them. He extracted a whole bunch more, but now the rest of the real volley comes in. Yep. That's what we were expecting. So it's a little bit of a different style of battleship from what we kind of would normally expect for a battleship. We are not really sort of wanting to get anywhere near our opponent. At the end of the day, Romulan plasma torpedoes are absolutely vicious and they will hurt us badly. So we kind of want to hold a little bit far back from them. And we'll take a planetary assault. We may as well jump right into the planetary assault to see what happens. At half loads, we are going to have some fun. Red alert and increased speed, and oh my god. So we're being escorted by the Reptilicon and the Axe Holder. These are 2 BBFs, Plasma Destroyer battleships. That's a lot of firepower the Gorn have just committed to this fight, and against us is a K-10, which is basically a Klingon B-10, except in Romulan colors, which should not be underestimated. I'm going to guess that it's actually pretty significantly well-armed. So we're going to also prep up all the other systems, immediately forward shield reinforcements. Just the forward shield is all I need. Actually, no, honestly, we should really be thinking about just forward and aft, because we end up turning away from the enemy all the time. Also, I want electronic countermeasures to as much spare power as you've got. Probes away. Let's find out to see if he's really alone. And we'll get ready for our initial missile salvo. Hopefully he's not really packing the plasma Ds, but I kind of expect him to. He is, after all, a battleship. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's pretty standard battleship affair. So we will pump out the first move, and we'll follow up with just 4 missiles out of the B-Rack, because I think that may actually cause him to crash stop. And if it does, then that's a working formula for me. The planet is, of course, well armed. It is a PLPH, which means we kind of probably want to save some of our energy, or some of our missile armament, just so we can knock down this planet. It's going to have 16 phaser 3s, 8 phaser 4s, and trying to remember the last one. 8 phaser 4s, and 8 plasma S torpedoes. Of course, how could you possibly forget the 8 plasma F torpedoes? So we're going to get ready for the follow-up as soon as this hits. Because remember, we can't actually control major salvos. If we were to fire, we'd actually lose control of 2 of those missiles. Is that a wild weasel? No, doesn't look like it. He's launched everything he's got, so we're going in. That's the crash stop right there. It's a very late crash stop, but there it is. So let's get the first of the MIRVs going. Follow up with the initial missile salvo. And honestly, they can probably handle this all on their own. I'm going to contribute only 1 salvo to the battle, and then I'm going to push on. Because these guys have got it. And also, they're not going to be a huge help against the planet itself. Unfortunately, the AI... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The AI is not particularly good at bombarding planets, even when they're in battleships. Now, they will, of course, have very long-range plasma torpedo batteries, and actually that may have been our best contribution to this battle, is the fact that we drew out the Wild Weasel, allowing all the plasma Rs to come in. Yeah, they're probably going to shoot down most of our missiles, but it's the battleship destroyers that are going to show up and be the main supporting factor here. Because he doesn't have a Wild Weasel, which means he doesn't get to ignore this salvo, or any salvo. Yeah, they've got him. They've got him, no trouble at all. Get ready for the engagement, and we need to close within a range of 72. We're going to conduct a slightly different than normal engagement. This is going to go heavy on the MIRVs. And so that means I'm going to deploy about 4 of them. Yeah, I think 4 MIRVs ought to be good. So he's just getting completely annihilated. So eating up that initial Wild Weasel was the key here. And because of that, he's completely outdone. He's got 2 battleships on his tail. He actually had 3 battleships going up against him, which, to be fair, he's already dead from that. But that is just what he's run into is insurmountable. Because he had to deploy a Wild... Well, he didn't have to, but the AI thought he had to deploy a Wild Weasel against my salvo. And my salvo was basically a shell salvo. There wasn't anything special in it. It was just 6 missiles in total at the end of the day. And he bought it, and he dumped a Wild Weasel, and that got him killed. Get ready for our immediate MIRV follow-up. Gotta make sure you keep up with the MIRVs. That way we can make sure that we actually get a really nice salvo. Actually, I'm going to drop back a little bit, make sure that the MIRVs get ahead. And then I should be able to launch an entire missile salvo on top of this. Yep, battleship is gone. So even the Klingon-designed B-10 battleships are not capable of handling us. Slow down actually a lot faster than that. F1, I would like to untarget. Oh, it's going to stay locked to it. It doesn't matter. Just come back to us. And we can launch the full missile follow-up. Excellent! So we basically have 24 missiles out in front of us. Oh, should probably start slowing down. 24 missiles out in front of us. And then an additional 6 or 8 missiles following immediately up. So any kind of point defense that he's got, and any sort of planetary defenses he has, we're going to be able to ignore. He's not going to be able to stop this. I wish we had more drone links so that we could actually, annihilate him. But that's not going to happen either. So, time to observe what happens when a Merak missile barrage comes in contact with a planet. And it's rather fun. 16 of them took out 12 of the missiles. And Tractor beams a whole bunch more, and then it just cuts right through. Look at that. 88 plus 74 plus 40. So 114 plus 88 is 222. Not bad if I do say so myself. So I'm not sure how much of this planet is left, but it's about to have a very bad day. We're just going to continue a missile bombardment. The planet's already irradiated green, so clearly we've already done quite a good job of that. They're trying to shoot down all the missiles. They're just not succeeding well enough. And we should be able to continue our engagement quite well. Launch a couple more. How many more MIRVs I got? I think I'm out. Yeah, we're out of MIRVs. We have 2 more fast racks. And our ARACs are actually still doing surprisingly well. So we're just going to continue to spit out missiles until there's basically nothing left on the planet, which we've mostly succeeded in. By the way, we're in range. Commence bombardment with disruptors. So, we have finally made it to the planet, and we've already bombarded it down into dust. Oh, the power of a battleship. Yeah, the Gorn are here too. They can help out with taking the planet. That worked out very well. I don't want to deploy 10 Marines, so I'm going to manually click them. We don't normally do manual click Marines, but we're going to because I don't want to actually... I want to deploy 10 Marines at a time. After all, we have 72 of them, but still. Alright, almost within transporter range. Normally, it doesn't take us... normally we're just still bombarding the planet at this point. There we go. All is done. All stop. Don't make me emergency stop this. I will stomp the decelerator. And we should be okay. Pulling into a nice, safe stop in orbit over the irradiated planet. Maximum speed of time. So our Marines can handle this faster. If we beamed all the Marines over, it would happen faster. But we're trying to conserve some resources. Just a little bit. They still have repair parts. That's kind of the fascinating thing about it. Despite the fact that we completely annihilated the planet, basically two volleys, they still have repair parts. We did it so fast that they haven't had time to waste them all. So give our Marines just a little bit of time to fully secure the planet, and we'll be good. There we go. It's a brand new planet for us. Now, of course, it's going to take us a little while longer to actually own the planet. The game is not that kind to you. But even at half loads, we took on a battleship and a planet. To be fair, the battleship was only taken on thanks to us having 2 battleships of our own in support. So wow, the Empire Defense went up. It was at 40, it's now at 45. I hope that's not a trend, because that was a glitch that kind of ruined our live stream campaign. We would attack planets, and it would become more in favor of the enemy planet. Not cool. So, a scouting mission to check out a King Condor Dreadnought. We'll try. We'll give it a shot. I think we can do it. If he's deployed his pseudo-frigates, which he hasn't yet, we would initially go for them. But I think we're going to do... Oh, no, we can't do that. We're going to have to do the stutter salvo and then the main salvo. So we'll be doing a 2 MIRVs plus a plus 4 from the B-Rack, and then full firepower salvos. And that will be our plan. Of course, need to get within range, and King Condor battleships do not exactly accelerate very quickly. Neither do we. But we have an excuse. We have a lot of missiles that we're carrying. We'll become lighter as we go on. Maximum electronic countermeasures, full forward shield reinforcement, and oh yeah, let's not forget one of these. And I'm not going to do that. We can't... Oh, we could control it. It would be an additional 6 missiles to dump out. We're going to prep it just in case. Are we within range? Not quite. We could start to engage from this range, and I think we should. So, first 2 missiles are out, followed up immediately by the Bravo racks. Let these missiles streak on ahead of us. That's key. They've got to be out in front. That way they get absorbed by the incoming fire, so the AI realizes that, oh god, there's still a lot of missiles going on. And now we start to break off. We need to do basically what it is that we did when we were a heavy cruiser that was a drone cruiser. Because it's basically the same principle. If we try and get into a knockdown, drag-out fight with him, he's going to beat us. He absolutely will. The number of plasma torpedoes that he's carting into this battle is so absurdly high, we will lose that fight, without question. think that works out. I think we need one more missile set, and then we can fire no more. We'll find out. Yeah, we're good. So that's an entire 2 salvos of missiles. The first one, of course, is going to get absorbed by the Wild Weasel. I hope, anyway. That's the plan. And, come on, you want to crash up? He crashed up. Excellent. We also don't want to cross too far over onto his starboard side. So we want to get on top of things and start stacking salvos as fast as we can. Because the starboard side is a dangerous place for us to be. Not because it's more dangerous than the port side, but more because it has more defenses at this moment. We've burned out all of his port side defenses. He no longer has use of them. So we just got to wait until he gets hit before we can fire our follow-up salvo. He's got to get hit with all of them. So he grabbed onto a couple of them. The pseudo-frigates are not providing support, and we've cut through the shields. Alrighty, that worked out quite nicely. Follow up all missiles. And I'm actually going to deploy 1, 2, and select your buddy, 1, and I'm going to also deploy a disruptor against you. Just in case, that'll help out. So 2 hits with the disruptor, hopefully that'll be enough to worry about him. 1 is down, and he's going to bring the other side over to it. We do need to scan him, we have to keep that in mind. Forward shields are down on him. I think one more salvo ought to be able to give us the results we're looking for. Well, tell me exactly what it is we're dealing with at this moment. Get ready for all additional salvos. He's hurting, but he ain't dead. Well, we don't want him dead yet, but I don't dare get anywhere near him right now. He has just too many options at this moment. We need to get this thing set to all missiles again. Oh, and that's going to be everything. The D-Racks all getting involved on that one. Disruptor. 3 shots. And another Wild Weasel. Interesting. Okay, so in that case, I'll dump that. I should probably have tried to get a Merv in front of it, but that's okay. But I do want those missiles out. I would also like to get my disruptors on target a bit. So 6. We're running out of missiles pretty soon. We got to keep that in mind. We've got to hurt him badly so that we can move on. Come on, disruptors, you can't be that narrow. There we go. A little bit more damage onto him. Trying to stun a couple of systems offline. And we are out of MIRVs at this point, so things could get a little bit ugly. Get the last of our missiles away. And the MIRVs are going to get through. And now we're on an energy bombardment. That's what we were waiting for. Full power. Full powered engines. Get us out of here. So hopefully he doesn't die from the salvo, but he might. So we may end up losing the scouting mission, but it's a lot of missiles. Didn't get a cascade failure. He is still holding on to some of them. Give me more missiles. Of course, only the C-Rex are currently able to engage. So continuing with the rest of them, we now can get our disruptors on target. We're still engaging from that front. That's the plan. And I think once we start getting within range, we will start our scanners. Ideally, we'd capture it. I mean, it is King Condor. Good, decent number of hits right there. So I don't know how well you're doing on defenses. It's showing half level. So maximum sensors. He does still have his plasma F torpedoes. And do I have any missiles remaining? We are out of missiles. We're an energy boat. Okay. So let's get ready to engage him energy style. Oh, this is not how the Marak do war. Come on. And we have all the sensor data we want, but we want the ship. We do actually want this ship. I want this ship. Marak High Command may not want the ship. I want the bloody ship. And we do have to remember he does have an S-type plasma torpedo that shoots backwards, which he is going to get on target if I'm not careful, which we're not being super careful. There's an F that's getting away. And our defensive phasers getting involved right there to reduce his effectiveness. Still has that S, and he's gonna have an angle shot on it. So I'm gonna go wide this way. This may be a bad idea. I should have turned right in on him. But I want to play a little bit safe with what he's doing. Because he has, at the end of the day, 2 R-type plasma torpedoes. I mean, that's what he's packing. One transport would actually equalize factions at this point. So we may end up going for that. I really kind of feel like that should be the plan. Disruptor select. Not all of them are ready. Got one hit through. Okay, so we are good. If we get a single beam out, then we've got this ship. So we're gonna engage with phasers. Ignore him basically on our forward shields. We're fine with that. We'll get one cut through, beam the people on board, and then we'll pull out. This is my plan. We just need to get the right angle here. And we're within transporter range. We didn't cut through. Holy crap. I think... No, he still has... There goes the plasma torpedo. Can I get on the rear? Good. Alright, so he took a little bit of damage on himself. And we'll slow way down. If he wants to do this, I'm fine to do it. In fact, I'm going to just counter tractor beam. Repel, strength 3. Repel. Engage. Because I don't want to eat too much enemy firepower. Start nailing into him. We have the energy advantage. We have the positional advantage. And we're just going to stick back here and just steadily lay into him. There we go. No shields. Marines. Turn to defend. Ooh, he got a hit through. Destroyed an anti-missile defense system. And weakened a shield, but we're going to pull on through. Your ship is mine, buddy. It was a King Condor. An F-type upgrade on the King Condor. The Calium. Yeah, but it's ours now. You can fire all you want. You're not going to do anything. Let's switch our shield reinforcement to our stern shield, although I think we're burning at full speed, so that probably won't get us anything. And increase the speed time as our Marines move through the ship and take it on. Yeah, the ability to dump 10 Marines on something is pretty impressive. We basically brought a commando cruiser in addition to a missile cruiser, in addition to a pretty decent energy-heavy cruiser. It's a lot of mixed roles that you can get out of this battleship, and I'm quite happy with it. We went for it and we got it, and now we will be able to do great things with it. As we soar on through, just wait for the last individual enemy team to be wiped out by our 5 teams, and now they'll go finish securing the ship, and that will be scouted, defeated, and captured. So, yeah, I'm going to hold that one up as a pretty decent mission. Our battleship superior to one of the biggest most powerful battleships in the game. In my opinion, the King Condor, power for power, is probably the most powerful battleship. 440 prestige is our reward, and a neutral tile. So this is starting to become a little bit out of a limb, which would be great. I'd like to get a full surround going on it so we can sort of use it as a primary operation. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tirek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.